Mr. Hunter, thank you so much for joining the discussion today. It's such a pleasure to have you here at the Carbon Capture Global Summit 2025. And as we all know, Net Zero Teesside Power is often described as one of UK's flagship decarbonization projects. Could you please briefly introduce what NZT Power is and why it's regarded as such a cornerstone in helping UK meet its climate goals?
Yeah. Net Zero Teesside Power aims to be the world's first gas-fired power station with carbon capture and storage. We're aiming to start up in 2028 in support of the UK government's 2030 clean power ambition. Now, once we're up and running, we're looking to generate 742 megawatts of low carbon power. That's enough to power over 1 million UK homes, whilst capturing about 95% of the CO2.
Yes.
Now, that makes it really important in a country like the UK. We've got fantastic renewable resources, particularly in offshore wind. And what this technology does is provide flexible, low carbon power that can supplement the intermittent renewables.
Yeah, that's really impressive. NZT Power has already reached some really significant milestone from being selected for the government's Track 1 cluster screening process to achieving the financial close in December 2024 and the start of the construction this year. So looking back, what has been the most important milestones on the journey so far in your mind, and what do they signify for the project's momentum?
Yeah, I'd maybe go back to 2018, first of all, where we really pivoted this project from being a standalone baseload power station with carbon capture project. And we moved more towards a cluster-based focus, with this power station being the anchor project for a wider Teesside-wide decarbonisation project. And that really meant it wasn't important just for power, but important on a national industrial decarbonisation scale. At the same time, we also moved from the baseload concept to a flexible generation concept, which really worked well with the growing importance of renewables in the UK as we seek to provide flexible, low carbon power that can complement those intermittent renewables.
Yes. As we all know, large-scale projects of this kind inevitably face both technical and commercial challenges. As you and your team have navigated the development of such a complex integrated facility with partnership across BP, Equinor, and Northern Endurance Partnership, what key lessons have you learned that could be valuable for others in the energy and industrial sector embarking on the similar low-carbon projects?
Yeah, I mean, I think, as I say, I would look at the relationship with the UK government. The level of trust and collaboration there is a really important factor in the UK's success so far. And it's not easy to do. You have to really put yourself into each other's shoes and think about the factors in your projects, not just around technology and investment, but also in terms of the wider benefits, in terms of national strategic objectives, in terms of developing supply chains, and in terms of driving local content, skills and training, so that you're creating a really compelling case for your project. And then more broadly, I'd think about the commercial challenges that we faced. I would say we've been occasionally caught out by the level of commercial complexity in these projects. We sometimes forget that complex industries work because a lot of people have been working them for a long time using standard practices and processes, and you can't always take that approach when you're trying to develop a new industry. So it takes a lot of creativity and flexibility to come up with new ways of working. And to be successful, you need to pick the right partners that are willing to come along that journey with you.
Yes. Beyond its contribution to reducing emissions, NZT Power is also expected to have a profound impact on the Teesside region. Could you please share how the project will drive the economic growth, attract investment, and support the local community in Teesside?
Yeah, well, first of all, look, we're investing billions of pounds in developing the projects, and over 50% of that will come from UK content, including a number of companies based in Teesside and the northeast of England. I think the project will aim to support about 3,000 jobs during construction, and then around 1,000 through operations. So a really significant local impact in an area which will really benefit from these types of high-skilled, low-carbon jobs. We've spent a lot of time working with local schools and colleges, developing low carbon net zero skills. And now we're getting into the execute phase. It's great to be able to support about 170 young people in Teesside on a variety of apprenticeships and scholarships. And all of this is really about helping to create a long-term, low-carbon ecosystem which will generate tangible benefits for the region for many years to come.
Yeah, it's really impressive how positive the social impact it will have on the Teesside region. Finally, with NZT Power capturing up to 2 million tons of CO2 annually, this project is often held of as a model for what's possible in the power decarbonization. So how do you see this project shaping the UK's role as a global leader in carbon capture? And in what way will it inspire or influence other similar initiatives globally?
Yeah, so we're aiming to be the world's first gas-fired power station with carbon capture technology. So clearly the rest of the industry will look to us and try to take the lessons learned from that. For example, we have dozens of international delegations that come to visit the project. Political and business leaders are really enthused about what we're doing in Teesside, and they're really keen to take the lessons learned from our project back to their own countries to help develop their own industries there. I think in addition to that, our major contractors are already using our projects as a starting point to create opportunities elsewhere around the world. And then finally, I would say, as I've said, the UK government deserves credit for developing these low carbon business models. And I think the UK's got a long history of exporting innovative regulatory concepts overseas. In the past, that's helped to develop overseas industries and infrastructure, and also to support UK companies. So I think these CCS business models are a latest example of how the UK can continue to do that, not only helping to develop decarbonisation industries overseas, but also provide opportunities for UK companies.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Halder, for sharing all this invaluable insights. And I think it's really clear that Net Zero Teesside Power is not just an energy project, but also is a catalyst for industrial decarbonization and transformation, and regional growth and global leadership in low carbon innovations. And thanks again for all of your input today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.